The Green Bay Packers.
I hope so.
That's a tough team to beat, right? The Green Bay Packers.
We all can't stand the Packers.
Listen, they didn't even have a pick in the first round this year, right? 2026 draft went without a first-round pick. They traded their pick for the Micah Parsons trade, which, by the way, Jerry Jones, I was mad about it last year, but looking back, Jerry Jones won the trade. He won the trade with the Micah Parsons.
The dude got hurt.
To Green Bay.
Yeah,
I don't care. We won the trade.
They won it.
The result is that the Green Bay Packers have the smallest draft class in 22 years. Jeez, that's a shame. Boo-hoo. They got a corner, a defensive tackle, an edge rusher, a center who also plays guard out of Kentucky, a corner from Alabama, and they drafted a kicker. Congratulations. You drafted a kicker. I don't have a lot to say good about the Packers because they're the Packers. Jordan Love is a good quarterback. 3,300 yards a year ago, 23 touchdowns to the 6 interceptions. He went through some injury woes, right? He's another guy that can be somewhat inconsistent. He can have a great game and look like the next coming of Aaron Rodgers, and then he can have a terrible game and look like Mikowski. If you guys remember, Mikowski used to play for the Packers back in the 80s. Brandon doesn't. Robert might. Anyway, yes, they called him Magic. Yeah, he had a couple of fourth quarter comebacks, Magic Mikowski.
I remember that on the Brett Favre when he came in and shook his hand, and then that was the last time I saw him.
That was it. Put that over.
That's the only thing I remember of him. No disrespect, Magic Mike.
This is the Green Bay Packer team that shipped out their backup quarterback, Malik Willis. He can't get over it. He can't.
I can't, bro. Because I remember seeing that as a kid.
They were 8-9 a year ago, beaten by the Chicago Bears. Towards the end of the season, Brandon, you were at my house for that game. We kind of all stopped what we were doing to watch the fourth quarter of that game. It was awesome. I see the Packers as falling on their face this year. I see them as they didn't get any better to me. They haven't done anything to improve, and so the Packers to me are just poo-poo Packers. Robert, give me some Packer insight.
You still got Jordan Love. You still got a quarterback who can go out there and make plays. And I'm sure that he didn't like the way the season ended last year, going 8-9 and losing to the Bears. It was a bad news Bears until last year. So everybody in the North, in the NFC North, is going to come out with a chip on their shoulders, especially with the way the Bears play ball. So Detroit Lions going to have a chip on their shoulder. The Packers are going to have a chip on their shoulder. The Bears are going to have to run it back because if they don't run it back, they're going to say it was a fluke. It was a smoke screen. And the Vikings, we'll see what they do. They still got dynamic players over there. They still got an offense that can go out there and put points up. So it's arranged to be seen how the year is going to turn out. The preseason, hopefully that'll give us a glimpse of what everything looks like once all the starters decide to start playing. But, man, it's football. Anybody, any day. And the Packers may turn around and go, 13-3 on us, and we'll never know.
Don't say that. Don't even put that into the atmosphere. What is going on around here? I don't like the positivity for the Green Bay Packers, Robert. I don't like it. I dislike it.
There are no Packer fans on here, so there are no Packer fans on here, so I'm just giving them a little love.
Somebody's got to represent. I understand. Brandon, your guy, Malik Willis, was number 2 quarterback, stepped in a couple games last year. He's been shipped off by Green Bay so he can go be a starter down in Miami with absolutely no help around him. That should be fun. How do you feel about Jordan Love?
I like him. I just think, yes, it's inconsistencies. They're there sometimes, but, man, when he's on, he's on. When he's on, he's on. And I just think that's just the growth process of this position. The guy's still young. But I'm going to say what everybody is afraid to say. I know these are you guys have your lineage to your teams, but this is the cream of the crop of this division. It always has been since I was a kid. Green Bay has always found a way during the Brett Favre era, the Rodgers era, the Jordan Love era, right? They're still getting in the playoffs despite having some injuries, despite making big splash trades and it doesn't work out in their favor. And what happens? They're still there. So we have to anticipate them still being there despite whatever happens this season. Just like Kent was attesting, these guys could go 500. These guys could turn around and go 13-3. And you just look up and you're like, shit, they're right there, right? I still think they're the favorites. Why? Because that organization has just been who they are for years. We haven't really seen a fall off. Yes, LaFleur, he hasn't, overcome, going to the NFC Championship. Yes, we know he's lost, but that is the one team I know without a shadow of a doubt they're going to be in this mix.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
It's every year. It don't matter. Wild card, divisional, up for the North, doesn't matter. They're one of the teams that is always in it.
It's true.
Since I just like it. 20 years, like let's call it what it is. The Lions, yes, they caught fire in a bottle. They're still rolling, right? Bears are starting to really churn and come around and become that team of identity, something they didn't have in a long time. But the Packers have always remained the Packers.
Well, and looking at this lineup, they're going to look very familiar to a year ago, right? They still got Josh Jacobs. They still have Christian Watson. They still have Romeo Doubs. Let's see, who else?
And that team on a run before Jordan Love got hurt. When they one of the hottest teams, wasn't Micah Parsons really making some noise? Then what happened? Oh, they ran into a little bump in the third quarter of the season. Fourth quarter, they snuck in there. That's what they do. They're always going to be around. You can never count them out.
Defense still.
That's why I count them out.
Respect to what they do. It's just, I don't think I've seen a team like this since shit. Who can you say besides we've seen Patriot have fall off years, but it's kind of like the Steelers. They just happen to just hang around. They're just always in there. We know at some point, we got to go play the Packers.
I will say, not having a first-round pick and having a small draft class doesn't necessarily hurt them this year, but it certainly will hurt them in the years to come.
Will it?
From now, it will.
Will it?
Because
have we ever seen it?
Well, it's the smallest draft class they've had in 22
We've never
years,
seen it.
You don't think it's going to hurt them eventually?
We've never seen it.
Free agency. Yeah, free agency is still there. They're not going to stop. I mean, you can always go find you some players.
Outside of Reggie White,
right now,
players love playing for that city.
Oh, but do they? Look back historically, outside of Reggie White, name me some big free agents that have signed with Green Bay in the offseason. The smallest market in the NFL.
Charles Woodson.
Okay, Woodson.
To the Super Bowl.
But it's still one of the smallest markets in the NFL.
Sure.
Not owned by anyone, owned by the city.
Sure.
One of the smallest stadiums in the NFL and one of the coldest venues in all of the NFL. This is why your free agent wide receivers and running backs and safeties and corners outside of Woodson, he's from Michigan, obviously, right? But they don't clamor to go to Green Bay, is all I'm saying.
This just attests to what I've just now said.
They find a way.
Good. They find a way, bro. They're always there. You can never count them out. I've never seen a season where damn, Green Bay's shitty.
Right.
I haven't.
I mean, Detroit's the same way. I don't know too many people that's just packing their bag and say, man, I can't wait to be a Lions or go to the Detroit Lions.
But
there are not a lot of players like that or coaches.
And that just goes to credit to that organization and that culture, man. Those fans love their Packer players, bro.
Yes.
Love them. In the training camps, riding the bikes, they pick one of the kids. What team is just doing that? Year in and year out. You saw it all the way from the Brett Favre era to the Aaron Rodgers, now to the Jordan Love. Bro, their retention is phenomenal.
And the thing is, it's almost like a family because it is owned by the fans. And you got players that look for that type of atmosphere. There are some players that don't want that big limelight, Dallas Cowboys, 49ers, Raiders, just knowing that they're going to have attention on them all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, you want to just go and be a football player. And that atmosphere of just that family oriented, you may be eating dinner with some of the fans, and you're a big time. But that right there, it doesn't mean nothing to them because they just want to go play football. So they find those players that just want to go play football, and they find a way to win. So, like he said,
they're in it every year. We all know in January you're going to have to go to Lambeau Field.
Oh, nobody wants to go.
Playoffs in Lambeau.
Nobody wants to go
every year except last year, almost.
That's right. They had to come to Chicago.
Yeah, but it was kind of the same style of atmosphere, cold weather. Like, it's just, in January, if you're in the NFC, you're going to play Green Bay.
Yes.
All right. Well, if we don't stop
last year this time, we talking about having to go to Chicago. None of the conversations we had anything to do with going to Chicago. We were just hoping Chicago had a winning season. Then just
Just pray they cleared 500.
Yes. After the year that they just had,
oh boy,
I'm sure the Chicago fans are feeling like, oh, let's run it back. But usually that sophomore year is usually when things start to tank. Sometimes it's hard to come back and be as impressive as you were that previous year. So are the Chicago Bears going to be real, or are they going to be fake? What do we have for 2026?
What we got, Tim?